Ryan Vickers in the 32 car, the car that Dave Blaney set on the outside front row a couple times last year. Good Toyota now with Vickers in it, and beside him, Tony Stewart. Whoa, a little bit of a wobble from Rudeman, and he just gathers it back in.
And my sleeper there, Marcus Ambrose. We got a 37 car in the wall here, Brad Baker.
We never got touched. We just got a little bit high there, guys.
DJ Kennington also sliding up in the fray. First caution flag of the day here on lap number 3.
There's a hot spot right there in turn 4. I was on top of one of the haulers in practice. You see the car just breaks loose and nobody around him. We saw this in practice with no other cars around, and these guys just break loose and spin out and hit the wall.
On board, Patrick Carpentier. You can see the 37.
Got a car up high. Stay down. Start rolling out easy. Roll out easy. Good.
I think part of it's got to do with the tire combination. I know that we've touched on that a little bit too. It's just a little bit tough.
Marcus Ambrose had that great qualifying run, now losing his spot to David Rudeman. More on Ambrose with Dave.
I talked to his crew chief, Walter Giles, about that run, and he said, you know, we got him tightened up just a little too much for that run. In other words, the car was a little bit tough to turn. As we got a big wreck, guys.
38 car, Leffler involved. The 41 also involved, and that is Kyle Krisiloff.
Garage, guys.
I suspect that started at that slick spot off turn 4 we've been talking about.
This is Kyle Krisiloff, by the way, his first start of the year.
And it looks like Kyle does get loose right there in the spot we talked about.
Oh, Jason Leffler, just the wrong spot at the wrong time there. That's really unfortunate.
So it looks like he thinks he's got him cleared right here, and he gets blindsided. There's nothing he could do, and at that point, really nothing Kyle Krisiloff could do.
Take a look at what Mike Wallace saw from behind this mess.
Right there in front of you. Back it down there. Come to the bottom. Come to the bottom. There you go.
Dale, you got a split second to make that decision. I mean, do you listen to your spotter, or is that just an instinct?
Yeah, in Jason Leffler's case there, he did just instinct. You know, he turned to the left. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. It's just, unfortunately, sometimes you're going to be in the wrong place.
Carl Edwards in the 60 car. Talk about not wanting to sit back there very long and wait. How about the 5 car? Mark Martin just going by there. Mark started back in 17th position. Here's the 81 off the pace. That is DJ Kennington, and he was involved in the first caution of the day back on lap number 2.
You were all done. Boy, we hit the wall.
Let's look at this replay. You might be able to see exactly what happened with this 81 car. Oh, yeah, you can see that tire just explode coming down the backstretch. Probably a good spot to have it blow out if you'd gone down just a little bit farther.
Yeah, if there is a good thing for the tire to blow out, on the straightaway is your best option. And, you know, that could have been either running over something as they came out of the pits and got back to going, or, you know, he was in the first accident, so they might have had a rub there that they didn't realize.
And on a restart, not on the start of the race until you get past the start-finish line, but on a restart, once the green flag waves, you can go to the high side and pass all you want. Oh, one car up across the wall head-on into the concrete, the 28 car, and that is Brian Keselowski.
Very lucky that was not more than one car.
Yeah, that's a hard hit right there, going up across. Like he got down on the apron, possibly on the entrance to the corner.
It's like he had a problem on the straightaway. Yeah, you can see he got together with somebody and just took off across the infield. Very lucky they didn't get somebody else involved.
Brian Keselowski is the older brother of Brad, who drives the 88 car.
As you come out of the tri-oval there, your car tends to want to go out towards the wall anyway, so you have to really be careful. And I think they were in basically a 3-wide situation there. So instead of turning down, the car went up and created a problem.
He talked about this track changing configurations. Oh, trouble out of turn 4. And there is Stephen Wallace.
Hold your brake up there. Hold it.
Who was having such a great run, and the car just loops around and he just pancakes the left side. Good here in testing, running in the top 5. See what happens. A car.
That same spot in turn 4. It's bit quite a few guys here.
Yeah, and Stephen was doing a great job. And, you know, some of the very best have wrecked up there this weekend, too. So, you know, you can't just put this. It's just a slick racetrack. And it just gets out there a little bit, and there's no forgiving. Kevin Harvick just barely gets by right there.
All right, caution down. Good job.
Boy, a move by Kevin Harvick to get by. Look at Harvick right behind him, and Wallace spins in. Somehow Harvick gets through there, but Mike Bliss isn't so lucky.
Now, Mike gets a good piece of that.
Harvick might ought to go to the tables tonight. His luck, if he's running, if his luck's that good.
About this race, this car is not the same one from testing because they said they believed this car was better. He said he was concerned, but they made a couple adjustments on that last stop, guys, and he is happy as can be right now. We had a crash on the racetrack, guys.
Our pole sitter, Brian Vickers, has also found the outside retaining wall.
Looks like he's lost a right front tire and then made contact with the wall. See some other cars hitting debris from this 32 car.
Bring us down here to pit road. We're done, guys. We're done. I'll meet you behind the wall. It was a hard hit. All right, 10-4. Behind the wall, guys. Meet him in the garage.
Ryan, the 2003 Series champion.
I lost my brakes.
He lost his brakes, but that's not a spot that you would hit. Doesn't look like just from losing the brakes. It's kind of a weird failure. And it's basically coming off the corner.
Yeah, but it might have just gotten him, by losing them down into the corner, it might have gotten him in there harder, and he was just trying to drive it off the corner. And when you have no way of slowing it down, that's what's going to happen. He doesn't have to get much better. Tony Stewart, they've won both of their races, and they had to go to the back of the pack a few minutes to go, for speeding on pit road. As we
looked like Bobby Labonte just lost it.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he didn't have a tire going down or something, because he was up there battling Burton, and then the next thing you know, he's dropped back quite a ways.
Yeah, that was a hard lick too.
Yeah, heavy contact for Bobby Labonte, who had led, former Cup and Nationwide champ.
Pretty good damage to the left rear.
Lap 73, caution number 7 on the day.
See Bobby trying to get the car back to the pits.
Yeah,
just snapped around right there. That looks like he must have had a problem.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. We see the right rear's up, but there's just no forgiveness in these tires right now.
Very reminiscent of Stephen Wallace's car where he just snapped around up there. He also pancaked the left side.
All right, guys, this is fun. Hit the wall.
That same spot in turn 4 is just like, it must be that that one spot has less grip than the rest of the racetrack. I'll tell you one thing though, if I look at these flags, Dale, these flags are blowing, this wind is really stiff. It could be throwing these guys a little bit of a loop. We heard Jeff Burton talk about that when the race started, that he was a little worried about that wind. That might be causing more problems than the track.
Kelly Byers in the 47 running in 11th spot. Brad Keselowski back in 12th. Mike Wallace is there. Bobby Hamilton Jr. Those guys all in the top 15. Whoa! The 18 car up in the wall.
That was a tire failure on the straightaway. We saw that thing right there blow out, take the fender. Nothing Kyle could do right there. Until he was having a little bit of problem. He slipped back there to Mark Martin. Man.
Heavy damage on the right side of that.
No warning.
Wow.
Yeah, 10-4.
Tough break for this team, too, because this is the second car on the day for them. It's bad when you take 2 wrecked race cars back to the fab shop on Monday morning. So we had a camera right on Kyle. He's lucky he was up high when that thing blew out. I think maybe he felt something.
Yeah, that lessens the blow just a little bit. But as you said, it's unfortunate. They had 2 fast race cars, and now they're taking 2 wrecked race cars back to their shop.
Right in front of Mark Martin, and just right there against the wall. Sheet metal debris peeling away when that tire let go up there, and he bounced it off the safer barrier up the soft wall. 1 car, Johnny Sauter, by the way, our lucky dog, and a break for him. This most recent yellow flag, he will get back on the lead lap.
This guy had a big crash yesterday in final practice, had to take this car out and qualify it pretty much cold, and here he is just about up into the top 10.
Boy, I tell you, young David Reagan's absolutely a racer. Had a hard crash, but he continues to move forward.
Caution flag has just come out, and there's why. Brad Baker in trouble again. Here's a guy who had some problems on the very first lap of the race. Doc spent some time in the garage getting repairs made, and he's had some troubles again.
Yeah, Alan, the young man brought the caution out on lap number 2, involved in a spin and contact. Derek Cope was also involved in DJ Kennington. And now he brings out caution for the 9th time today.
Great that.
See on the replay, it started
Nice.
back in the center of the corner.
Headed in the wrong direction.
Well, the good news is that these guys will be able to get on pit road and get some fresh rubber. The bad news is, Andy, that's they're going to have to come again before the checkered flag wave.
Yeah, they can't make it all the way from here, but I bet you that I heard of wild bull elephants won't keep some of those guys off pit road right now. With all these tire issues, nothing like getting a set of fresh tires on there.
Jason Keller in the 11 car there after that good run at California. Finished 14th at California for the CJM efforts.
Whoa!
Marcus Ambrose trying to hold on and can't get it to stay and up across the racetrack.
How about
Hold
that?
the brake, hold the brake. Okay. Okay.
That's about as good as that could have turned out
Hold the brake.
for everybody.
As you can get. Watch Ambrose battling on the inside.
He's trying to not only make the pass there, but he gets pinched down by a lap car that probably had no idea that he was even coming there. He was down trying to let the guys go on the high side. We saw Brad Coleman just slide by on the top side.
That was Johnny Borneman. He probably didn't see Marcus jump underneath him, get in this corner. It happened so fast.
Got a slow car here in front of you. Stay down. Stay down. Check it up. Use the bottom. Use the bottom. You're clear. You're clear. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Patrick Carpentier did a pretty nice job. There's the contact. Borneman, the 83. And Ambrose.
Yeah, we've talked about spotters a lot. There's the benefit of having someone like Keith Barnwell, who's a veteran spotter. He's been up there a lot to help Patrick Carpentier through a situation like. See these guys on the inside really having to work hard to get by the guys that they're trying to pass. That outside line, Tony Stewart and David Rudeman get together.
Oh, both those cars hard into the wall over in turns 3 and 4. And the streak will come to an end here after 2 consecutive wins. Tony Stewart, who had led for 61 laps today, now his car has come to rest on the apron of turn 4.
Back on the replay here, this is just looked like maybe Tony got a little bit loose getting down in the corner. David might have, I don't know, it's hard to say he crowded him. They're both just trying to get down into the corner. I'm going to bet we have 2 different opinions on what happened there.
You think? Let's see what Tony Stewart's onboard camera showed us as they were down there trailing.
Dale was just talking about how
They're all around.
you know, that inside is just so tough.
Still clear.
See, he just
Spin behind you. Spin behind you. 99.20.
Yeah, Tony was trying not to get all the way down to the bottom where it bogs your car down just a little bit, and the 2 cars got together. And as we've heard many drivers talk about being right on the edge driving these cars, it doesn't take much.
Byers in that 47, 5 seconds of fuel. You're going to take a tear off of the front of that window as Scott Zipadelli looks down. Great run for Kelly Byers today. 47 is out.
Caution on the racetrack and a tough break for Kelly Byers, who was 13th when he came on the pit road.
That's why that's such a risky move. You can't hardly pit until you have to, and that's a tough break for Kelly Byers. He can make it all the way.
You know, his car was pretty good. He was running good lap times. He had worked his way all the way up into the top 10 there, so he was running 8th, or is running 8th right now. So it'll be interesting to see. I can't imagine that he can hold those guys off.
We're leaving on the tires. We're leaving on the tires.
This is just great racing. I mean, we've got guys all the way from.
Here we go.
Contact Martin into the back of the 60 car. There was contact there, and the 60 and the 88 come together.
I know Mark didn't mean to do that. So you probably get a lot of draft. Mark's catching a pull off of these 2 cars running in front of him. Catch them just a little quicker than he anticipated.
I actually think Mark thought he could give Carl just a little bit of a push right there, enough of a tap that it wouldn't do this, wouldn't create this situation, but it would be enough of a situation maybe to try to propel them by the 88.
Looking over from
To the top lane behind the 88.
Carl Edwards' 60 car, Keselowski, and there's the contact.
Mark, right guy at the back of us there. Watch your inside. Keep.
Yeah, even though we're going, you call this the front stretch, it's still a tri-oval, and so you're actually having to turn the car right there. And so the car gets a little bit light, and you get just a little bit. You can see Carl actually turn it a little bit to the left to go through the dog leg. And just as he was doing that, Mark Martin got into the back of him, and not much you can do there.
Very light contact, but you can see these guys are just on edge.